Hello, students. Welcome to BioWise with Aanchal. I hope the preparations are going on well. Now, today we are going to talk about the choose the odd one out question. Now, this question sometimes makes you feel that it is tricky. But if you understand the concept easily or if you have practiced it enough, then you will not have any problem in understanding the questions given in the question paper. Though this is just a 5-mark question in your paper, but imagine getting 5 on 5, that makes your section 1 or section A 40 on 40, right? So subscribe the channel first and then let us proceed with the session on choose the odd one out. So now the first question. Mitosis, meiosis, interphase, and cytokinesis. What do you think? Now, children, when you are writing the answer in the comment section, do not forget to mention the question number so that it becomes easy for me to understand that whether you're getting the question correctly or not. Okay, so let us proceed with the first one. Now, who will tell me mitosis, meiosis, interphase, and cytokinesis? The correct answer is interphase is the odd one out. And all these mitosis, meiosis, and cytokinesis are the part of mitotic division. But interphase is the resting phase. In biology, you have to write about the rest belongs to which category. But in chemistry, we have to write both. So do not get confused. In bio, we are going to write rest belongs to which category. So it will be better if you can make a table in which in one you write the odd terms and in the second column you can write the category the odd one belongs to. So there writing is minimized so the mistakes can also be minimized. Now here the odd term is interphase and rest belongs to the category of cellular division or you can say mitotic phase. But interphase is the resting phase. Chromatid, centromere, gene and nucleosome. Now here chromatid, you know what are chromatids? Centromere, genes. These are all and nucleosome. So nucleosome, centromere, chromatid, these are all parts of a chromosome. But gene is a sequence of nucleotide that codes for certain protein. Okay. So here you can write as odd man out is gene. Rest are the components of chromosomes. Gene is also present in the chromosomes on the DNA. So we are going into deeper into the DNA. Okay, nucleosome is the basic unit of chromosome. But gene is a basic unit of DNA which codes for certain protein. Right. So here mention gene and rest are the components of chromosomes. Prophase, metaphase, anaphase, S phase. Now here PMAT, you remember M phase, mitotic phase, PMAT. Here S is not matching. S is the odd one because S is synthesis phase where the DNA duplicates or doubles. It's a part of interphase. Prophase, metaphase, anaphase are the part of mitotic division. Very good, children. Keep it up. I'm getting the right answers in the comment section. Prophase, this is similar one. Prophase, metaphase, anaphase, interphase. Now these are M phase and this is the resting phase. So what is the odd one out? Odd one out is interphase. And these three are the mitotic phases, the phases of mitosis. Dominant, recessive, codominant, and phenotype. Now dominant one dominant allele, recessive allele, you have codominant alleles. Phenotype is what? Physical appearance. So here odd man out is phenotype because rest are the types of alleles or the condition of alleles, you can say. Next one, monohybrid, dihybrid, test cross and back cross. Now back cross is generally done when the cross is done with the parents. Okay. So that is not actually a kind of Mendelian cross. But Mendelian cross is monohybrid, dihybrid, and test cross is crossing with the recessive one. Okay. Here the answer will be back cross. Rest are all types of the Mendelian crosses. Okay. Next one, hemophilia, sickle cell anemia, color blindness, and malaria. Now, hemophilia and color blindness are X-linked disorders. Sickle cell anemia is also a DNA mutational disorder. So they are all inherited. But malaria is caused by a protozoan, right? So it's a disease caused by it's by a microorganism, not a genetic disorder. So rest are all genetic disorders. Homozygous, heterozygous, genotype, and mutation. Now, homozygous is a condition of the alleles, that is capital T, small t, like that. Homozygous is this capital T, capital T. Heterozygous, capital T, small t. Genotype is whether it is capital T or small t, right? So they are all talking about the genetic constitution. But mutation is a sudden change in the DNA sequence. So mutation is odd one out because rest are all what to say conditions of genes or alleles present in the cell. DNA, RNA, nucleotide, amino acid. Nucleic acid, nucleotide is the again a component of DNA, RNA. So they are all the components of the nuclear material. But amino acid is a component of a protein. These are all the components of the nuclear material. Nucleic, you can say present in the nucleus, you can say that, right? Next one, centriole, centromere, centrosome, aster. Now, centriole, there are two objects which are perpendicular to each other and they have radiating, fibers around it. That is called the centrosome. So, centrioles and centrosomes and the aster fibers make up the spindle apparatus, that is mitotic spindle apparatus, right? So, these are all the components of centrosome during the cell division. Centromere is a part of a chromosome. Understood? Moving to the next. Plasma membrane, cell wall, tonoplast, plasmodesmata. Now here plasma membrane is outer membrane of the animal cell. It is also present in the plant cell. Then cell wall is the outermost structure present in the plant cell. Tonoplast is the outermost structure of vacuoles. Plasmodesmata is the connection between the two cells. This is the connection. Rest are all limiting membranes. The rest are all the limiting membranes or the outermost structure present in a cell or the organelle. But plasmodesmata is the connection between the two cells. Mitochondria, chloroplast, ribosomes, lysosome. Now here the odd one out can be chloroplast, right? Now who will tell me the right option? Here you cannot write that rest belongs to both plants and animals because lysosome here becomes a problem. It's unique to animals, not to plants, right? So you can write here either you choose chloroplast and write rest all belongs to animal cells, or you choose lysosome and write rest all belongs to plant cell. So here there are possibility of two answers. Golgi apparatus, endoplasmic reticulum, nucleus and vacuole. Here the odd one out will be vacuole. Why vacuole? Because rest are all organelles, but vacuole is an inclusion, cell inclusion. I hope you know the difference between cell inclusion and cell organelles. Next one, diffusion, osmosis, active transport, imbibition. Now, diffusion, osmosis, and imbibition, they are all a kind of passive transport. So here the odd one out will be active transport because rest are all passive transport or they do not require energy to be, they do not require energy for the process. Now children, if you think that I am really fast with the questions, you can pause, answer and then move ahead to check whether you're right or wrong. Because I have to complete these 100 choose odd one out in limited time. Right. So I'm going little bit fast with it. You can pause, write the answer and then check. Okay. You can have it on your own pace. Do not run with me. You can learn the entire thing at your own pace. Take your time and learn properly. Understand properly. Next one is prokaryote, eukaryote, virus, and bacteria. Now here you can have an option as virus because rest are all cellular structures. But virus itself cannot be a cellular structure. It needs a host to multiply. Right. So it does not have cells and the organelles, like it does only have a capsule and a nucleic acid. Chromatin, histone, nucleosome, and chromosome. Now, chromatin fibers, nucleosomes are the basic units of chromosomes. Then chromatin condensed to form chromosomes. So, all these are the components of the chromosome. But histone is a protein, though it helps in the formation of nucleosome, but it's a protein, right? Next one, allele, locus, gene, and trait. Now, allele, locus, and gene is talking about the gene and its position on the chromosome. But trait is a term used by Mendel for the word allele, character for genes, and allele, trait for alleles. Crossing over, synapses, chiasma, mutation. Now here the odd one out is mutation because rest are all the part of a process in prophase 1 where recombinant DNA is formed by the process of crossing over, or all are the steps involved in synapses. Segregation, independent assortment, dominance, and mutation. Now here the odd one out is again, you tell me what is the odd one out? It's mutation. Rest are all Mendelian laws. Law of independent assortment, law of dominance, law of segregation. Homozygous, heterozygous, pure line, and dominant. Now here you can say homozygous again, it's a condition of alleles. Heterozygous is also a condition of alleles. Dominant is also a condition of alleles. Pure line means it's talking about the entire species or entire group of organisms which have all homozygous genes, right? That is all dominant genes or all recessive genes are purebred. So it is talking about the organism, but rest are all the condition of genes, alleles. All rest are all the condition of alleles. Okay, moving to the next. Next one, auxin, gibberellin, cytokinin, insulin. Now here, what is the odd one out? So simple, it is insulin. Rest are all phytohormones. Phototropic, geotropic, hydrotropic, adrenocorticotropic. All tropic sound similar, but adrenocorticotropic is a hormone released by pituitary. Rest are all the tropic movements shown by the plants. Okay, rest are the tropic movements shown by the plants. Next, stomata, lenticels, guard cells, hydrathodes. Now, stomata, lenticels, hydrathodes, they are all openings in the plant. But guard cells are the cells which protects the stomata. So here, rest are all the openings present in the plant. That is the odd one out is guard cell. Xylem, phloem, stomata, mesophyll cells. Here, same thought you can give. Stomata is an opening, but rest are all the tissues or cells present in the plant. They all are composed of cells present in the plant. Stomata is an opening. Grana, stroma, thylakoid, stoma. Now here you can see. Let me just clear it. Yes. Now next one you can see grana. What would be the answer? Write it in the comment section. Grana, stroma, thylakoid. Here answer is stoma. Stoma is singular of stomata. Rest are the components of chloroplast. Grana, stroma, thylakoids are the components of chloroplast. Light reaction, phosphorylation, photolysis, Calvin cycle. Now, these light reactions, phosphorylation, photolysis, all happens in the photochemical phase, right? The rest are all the parts of photochemical phase, but Calvin cycle is the biosynthetic phase or the dark reaction. Moving to the next, carbon dioxide, water, chlorophyll, light. Now, carbon dioxide, chlorophyll, light. These are all required for the process of photosynthesis. Water is required as well as it is the product also in the process of photosynthesis. So rest are all the need for photosynthesis, but water is the reactant as well as product for the process of photosynthesis. Next one, diffusion, osmosis, plasmolysis, ascent of sap. Now, diffusion, osmosis, and ascent of sap, there is movement of molecules that is happening. But plasmolysis is a condition of cell where the plant cell has lost the water content in the sap, in the vacuole. So, the shrinking of the plasma membrane has taken place. So, rest are all the process by which there is movement seen in the molecules, right? That is diffusion, osmosis, and ascent of sap. Root hair, epidermis, cortex, and endodermis. Now, here you can have, I think, recep X. Here, endodermis is not required for the movement of water. It is root hair, epidermis, cortex, then you have pericycle, and then you have the entry into the vascular bundle. So, here, endodermis is the odd one out, and rest are all the cells involved in the water absorption by roots. Transpirational pull, root pressure, guttation, and bleeding. Now, transpirational pull is a kind of suction pressure because of that is a natural process that is happening. Root pressure also is natural because of the accumulation of water. Guttation is also natural when transpiration rate is low than water absorption rate. There is a kind of hydrostatic pressure developed in the plant. So the extra fluid comes out through the hydrathodes. Bleeding is a artificial process. You can say that in bleeding, the plant has to be cut or broken. So that is not natural. The rest are the common processes by which you can say water moves in the plant, or is water moves in the plant, or water comes out from the plant. C3, C4, CAM, cation acid metabolism, and xerophytes. So in this thing, you can see these are all on the basis of classification on the basis of photosynthesis. So these are photosynthetic pathways, but xerophytes are the desert plants. Okay, these are all photosynthetic pathways by which the plants photosynthesizes. IA, IBA, ABA, ethylene. You can choose here ABA. It's a growth inhibitor. Rest are all growth promoter. You can also choose ethylene. Ethylene is a gaseous hormone. The rest are liquid hormones. Liquid phytohormones you can use. Abscisic acid, cytokinin, gibberellic acid, and auxin. Here you have to choose abscisic acid. Rest are growth promoters, but abscisic acid is a growth inhibitor. Palisade, spongy, guard, and mesophyll cells. Here, palisade, spongy, and mesophyll cells are the type of mesophyll structure in the leaf, are the layer of cells present in the leaf. But guard cells are the cells that is around the stomata, helping in opening and closing of stomata. So it is basically the odd one out here, and rest are all mesophyll cells present in the leaf below the epidermis. Right? Sucrose, glucose, starch, and oxygen. Here, oxygen, because rest are all the what to say molecules of carbohydrates present in the plant during different processes. So, all are the different forms of sugar present in the plant or carbohydrate present in the plant, you can write. Like glucose is a form of sugar that is formed during photosynthesis. Starch is the storage sugar, and sucrose is the sugar by which it transfers in the phloem. So phloem contains sucrose while the transfer of this molecule is taking place, glucose molecule is taking place. Thick cuticles, sunken stomata, thick leaves, hydrathodes. Now you can see here thick cuticles, sunken stomata, thick leaves. What are they denoting? They are the adaptations by the leaves for less transpiration. So here odd man out is hydrathodes because rest are all adaptations for less transpiration or to reduce transpiration. RBC, WBC, platelets, and plasma. Here the odd man out will be plasma. Very good. Why plasma? Because rest are the cells present in the uh, blood. Okay. Next one, you can see arteries, veins, capillary, and lymph. Now here the odd man out is lymph. Why lymph? Because artery, vein, and capillaries are the blood vessels, but lymph is a fluid which flows in the lymphatic vessels. Right. Moving to the next, atrium, ventricle, aorta, and vena cava. Now here, atrium, ventricle, aorta, they are the components of the, you can say they are in the heart and originate in the heart. But vena cava runs into the heart. So you can say that though this is not a very good question to differentiate, but at least you can say there are chambers of the heart and the aorta originates from the heart. They are the components of the heart. But vena cava empties into the heart. Okay. Glomerular, though this is not a very good one, no? You can have any other thought process. So if you can give me any content, or you can tell me the odd one out, you can explain me that. Glomerulus, Bowman's capsule, proximal tubule, and liver. So here, glomerulus, Bowman's capsule, proximal convoluted tubule are the components of nephron, but liver is not a part of nephron. Liver is odd one out. Urea, uric acid, ammonia, and creatinine. Now here there are chances that people can use creatinine and you can write rest are the nitrogenous waste. Correct? But the Another answer can be ammonia, because we do not produce ammonia. In our body, ammonia is converted into urea in our liver, right? So that is the reason all are the components of urine, human urine. So ammonia is the odd one out, and rest are the components of urine. Cortex, medulla, pelvis, neuron. Now here, cortex, renal medulla, renal pelvis, they are the components of kidney, but neuron is the structure and functional unit of the nervous system. Okay. Then SA node, atrioventricular, it should be valve. It should be valve. Purkinje fibers and bundle of His. Now here, SA node, Purkinje fibers, bundle of His are all responsible for the impulse generated in the heart, for the cardiac cycle or the cardiac beat or the heartbeat. They are the part of the impulse generation. Arterioventricular valve is just a flap present between the atrium and the ventricle. That is for the movement of the blood. But the rest are the movement is for the generation of impulse. Next one, pulmonary artery, pulmonary vein, aorta and vena cava. Now let us see that pulmonary artery carries deoxygenated blood, pulmonary vein carries oxygenated blood, aorta carries oxygenated blood, and vena cava carries deoxygenated blood. So this could not be the answer. So here, what could be the answer? You have two types of circulation: double circulation, systemic circulation, and pulmonary circulation. So, uh, from the vena cava, it goes to the atrium, then to the pulmonary vein, and just find out what will be the answer. Pulmonary artery. Then from that is heart pumps it out to the artery. Artery goes to the lungs. Vein comes to the auricle, then goes to the, that is even vena cava comes from the body to the auricle. Huh? So here the odd man out is pulmonary artery, because rest are all the parts of the systemic circulation. Rest are all the parts of the systemic circulation. Is that clear? It is little bit different in thinking. Okay. The pulmonary artery, because rest are the components of systemic circulation. Hemoglobin, lymphocytes, thrombocytes, erythrocytes. Now here hemoglobin, because rest are all the cells present in the blood. But hemoglobin is a protein present in the RBC. ADH, aldosterone, cortisol, and urea. Now here what that is antidiuretic hormone, aldosterone, cortisol, urea. Urea is a nitrogenous waste. Rest are all hormones. Renal artery, renal vein, hepatic vein, and afferent arterioles. Now here on what basis you can differentiate? Renal artery is bringing blood to the kidney. Renal vein is taking the blood out of the kidney. Hepatic vein is coming out from the liver. And afferent arteriole is coming into the glomerulus. So here you can say that the odd one out is renal vein, because rest all blood vessels contain urea, right? Because it is before the filtration. But renal vein is taking the blood after the filtration. So renal vein does not contain urea, but rest all these three blood vessels contain high amount of urea. In liver, urea is formed, so hepatic vein contains urea. Afferent arteriole is coming to the glomerulus, so it contains urea. Renal artery is bringing the blood to the kidney, so it also contains urea. Is that clear? So some are difficult too, but I think this will open up your mind to think in all the directions. Arterial systole, ventricular systole, joint diastole, and pulse. Now here odd one out is pulse, because rest are all the parts of cardiac cycle. Going to the next. Double circulation, lymphatic circulation, portal system, and open circulation. Now here you can, what you will think? Circulation 3 में है, portal system is separate. But here, all these three circulations happen in human. But open circulation is not the circulation that happen in human beings. Okay, open circulation happens in insects. So rest are all parts of the closed circulatory system is the right answer. Bowman's capsule, distal tubule, collecting tubule, and alveolus. Alveolus is the part of lungs. Okay, alveolus is the odd one out, is a part of lungs, and rest are all parts of nephron. Plasma, serum, fibrinogen, and bilirubin. Now here serum, plasma, then fibrinogen, these are all the components of the blood. But bilirubin is a pigment produced by the liver, or is a waste product produced by the liver. Filtration, reabsorption, secretion, and digestion. Here, the odd one out is digestion because rest are all the steps of urine formation. Dendron, axon, cyton, synapse. Now, dendron, axon, cyton, and synapse. Synapse is a junction between the two neurons, but rest are the parts of a neuron. Cerebrum, cerebellum, medulla oblongata, spinal cord. Here, spinal cord because rest are the parts of the brain. Cuffing, knee jerk, blinking, and tying a shoelace while talking. Now here, cuffing is what to say? Cuffing is something gets stuck in your throat. You start cuffing. Knee jerk when doctor hits on your knee and you give a jerk. Blinking is naturally it happens. Blinking. Tying a shoelace is what? Is a conditioned reflex. So rest all are natural reflexes. Retina, cornea, sclera, and cochlea. Now here cochlea because rest are the parts of eye. Cochlea is in the ear. Malleus, incus, steps, and tympanum. Now here tympanum is a part of the outer ear, but malleus, incus, steps are the ear ossicles present in the middle ear. Rod, cones, fovea centralis, and iris. Now here iris because rest are all the things present in the retina. Rest are the components of retina. Fovea centralis is what? Yellow spot. Myopia, hypermetropia, presbyopia, cataract. Now here, cataract is the odd one out. All are the diseases of eyes. But in myopia, hypermetropia, and presbyopia, the focus of the lens is hampered. So they are all disorders because of the refractive index of the lens. But cataract is the lens becoming opaque, right? Ciliary muscles, pupil, lens, eustachian tube. These are all components of the eye, and eustachian tube is in the ear. Yes, moving to the next. Semicircular canal, cochlea, utriculus, and sacculus. Here, what can be the odd one out? Here, cochlea. Why? Because rest are all important in balancing. Semicircular canal is for dynamic balance, and utriculus and sacculus is for static balance. Pinna, auditory canal, tympanum, and cochlea. Now here, odd one out is again cochlea, because rest are all the parts of the outer ear. Pia mater, dura mater, cerebrospinal fluid, arachnoid. Here CSF is odd one out because rest are all meninges. Polarization, action potential, resting potential, synapse. Here synapse because rest are all the state of what is the passing of impulse, transmission of impulse. So rest are the stages of nerve transmission, impulse transmission in nerves. But synapse is what? Junction of two neurons. Okay. Corpus callosum, pons, midbrain, medulla. Now here corpus callosum because rest are all the part of the brain stem, right? They're all the components of the brain stem. Corpus callosum is a hard fibrous tissue present between the two hemisphere, which connects the two hemisphere. Blind spot, yellow spot, macula lutea, fovea centralis. Here, blind spot, because rest three are same things. They are the different names of the small kink present on the retina where you have maximum concentration of rods and cones. You can say rest all belongs to the rest all are the names of the spot present on the retina with the maximum concentration of photoreceptors. Basilar membrane, tectorial membrane, organ of corti and retina. Here retina because rest are all the components of cochlea of the inner ear. Insulin, thyroxine, adenine, testosterone. Now here testosterone because rest are all released in both male and female, right? But testosterone is only in males. Okay. Pituitary, thyroid, adrenal, salivary. Here, rest are all endocrine gland, but saliva is an salivary glands are the exocrine gland. Cretinism, goiter, myxedema, diabetes. Diabetes because rest are all disease related to thyroid malfunction. I hope it's clear. You're writing with me. Next one, FSH, LH, prolactin, and glucagon. Glucagon because rest are all released by pituitary. Ovary, testis, uterus, ovum. Ovum is the gamete. Rest are all organs of reproduction. Menstrual cycle, fertilization, implantation, parturition. Now here, fertilization, implantation, and parturition are the stages of pregnancy. Menstrual cycle is when pregnancy does not occur. Yes. Seminiferous tubule, Graafian follicle, prostate gland, and Cowper's gland. Here, Graafian follicle because rest are the components of the glands present in the male reproductive system. Estrogen, progesterone, SCG, and testosterone. Now, estrogen, progesterone, and now here the what is the problem can be HCG, that is human chorionic gonadotropic hormone, that is released by the chorion layer of the growing fetus. So these are all in the females. Testosterone is in the males. So rest are all the hormones released in the female body during pregnancy. Vas deferens, epididymis, ureter, and urethra. Now here, ureter and urethra. Now you can say here, urethra, that is a part of excretory system. Rest all are the parts of, sorry, that is not the right answer. Here the answer should be ureter. Okay, here the answer should be ureter. Ureter. Because ureter connects the kidney to the urinary bladder. But rest are all the components of the male reproductive system. Okay, so here the odd one out is ureter. Next one, corpus luteum, endometrium, placenta, and ovulation. Now here, ovulation, placenta, endometrium, that is the wall of the uterus, and corpus luteum is the, what is the Graafian follicle converts into corpus luteum during the pregnancy to maintain pregnancy. Endometrium thickens during pregnancy, placenta is formed during pregnancy. So ovulation, rest are all the stages or the requirements for the pregnancy. Next one. Next one. Addison syndrome, Cushing syndrome, adrenal virilism, and myxedema. Give the answer in the comment section. Addison syndrome, Cushing syndrome, adrenal virilism. These are all because of the malfunctioning of the adrenal glands. Myxedema is your thyroid gland, right? Oxytocin, ADH, ACTH, and TSH. Now here, ADH, ACTH, and TSH, and oxytocin. Antidiuretic hormone and oxytocin, ADH. Here, oxytocin is the odd one out. Rest are all tropic hormones. Yes? Any doubt here? Antidiuretic hormone, adenocorticotropic hormone, thyroid stimulating hormone. They are all released by pituitary. Anterior lobe is posterior lobe में oxytocin and ADH is there. So we cannot differentiate on the basis of that. You can say they all give negative feedback and oxytocin has a positive feedback. This is the right answer. They are all negative feedback. Rest all the hormones show negative feedback and oxytocin gives the positive feedback. Fallopian tube, cervix, vagina, and seminiferous tubule. Seminiferous tubule because rest are the parts of the female reproductive system. Okay. Moving to the next, zygote, embryo, fetus, and morula. Here, zygote, um, becomes an uh, embryo becomes a fetus. Morula is a different cell stage. Okay. So here I can have zygote. Zygote is unicellular, rest are all multicellular, right? Or multicellular stage of the fetal development. But zygote is a single cell stage. Spermatogenesis, oogenesis, menopause, puberty. Now, when puberty happens, you have spermatogenesis, oogenesis. So they are all related to the onset of reproductive system. Menopause is the end of the reproductive system. Birth rate, death rate, growth factor, and feminine. It's not should not be growth factor. It should be growth rate. Okay, it should be growth rate. So here birth rate, growth rate, and death rate are the demographic factors. Femin is Sukhaparna. That is not a growth factor. That is one of the reason responsible for decrease in population, you can say. So here the odd one out is famine. That are all demographic uh, units or demographic factors, you can say. Lamarckism, Darwinism, natural selection, and mutation. Now, Lamarckism, Darwinism, natural selection, they are all the theories of evolution. Mutation is not a theory of evolution. So, mutation is the odd one out. Appendix, wisdom teeth, pinna, and coccyx. Now, here, appendix, wisdom teeth, pinna, they are all vestigial. Coccyx is important, it helps us to sit. The rest are vestigial organs. Homo erectus, Neanderthal man, Cro-Magnon, and Australopithecus. Here you can say Cro-Magnon because rest do not have developed chin. Cro-Magnon had developed chin. Ozone depletion, acid rain, eutrophication, and recycling. Recycling because rest are all the cause of environmental problems or pollution. But recycling is a way to, what to say, safeguard or reduce pollution. Rest are all adding up to pollution and problems on Earth. Biodegradable, compost, landfills, and plastic. Here, plastic. Rest are all okay. Biodegradable, compost, landfills, and plastics. So here, I think biodegradable. These are compost, landfills, and plastic. These are the landfill is a place where the waste is discarded rather and rest are all waste. Okay, rest are all the category of waste. So here landfills are the places where the waste is discarded, but rest are all the waste. Rhizobium, azotobacter, mycorrhiza, and nitrates. Now here rest are all adding up nitrogen naturally. Nitrates are the um you can say man-made fertilizer or iron, but rest are natural um, supplier of nitrogen to the soil. BOD, DDT, sewage, and oil spill. BOD. BOD is biological oxygen demand that increases when the pollution in water increases. The rest are what? Rest are the pollutants. The rest are the water pollutants. Overproduction, struggle for existence, variation, and acquired characters. Now, acquired characters because um, rest three are the steps, or rest three are the postulates of Darwinian theory, natural selection. Acquired character is Lamarckian theory. The rest are the rest explains the natural selection theory or Darwinian theory. Ramapithecus, Java man, chimpanzee, and modern man. Here, chimpanzee. Spelling of chimpanzee is wrong. Here, the odd one out is chimpanzee because rest are all human ancestors, but chimpanzee is not a human ancestor. Greenhouse effect, global warming, smog, ozone hole. Now, greenhouse effect, global warming is same, so they will be there. Smog is a kind of pollutant, but rest are the what to say environmental issues. Okay, smog is a pollutant. Rest are the environmental issues. Use disuse theory, inheritance of acquired characters, survival of the fittest, arrival of the fittest. Use disuse is by Lamarck. Inheritance of acquired character is also Lamarck. Survival of the fittest is Darwin, and arrival of the fittest is Lamarck. So survival of the fittest because rest all belongs are the or rest all supports Lamarckian theory of evolution. CO, NO2, SO2, and chlorofluorocarbons. Now here you can have chlorofluorocarbons. because rest are air pollutants. Excuse me. Rest are all air pollutants, but here this is a what to say, ozone deplete. It depletes ozone. Vermicomposting, biogas, landfills, incineration. Vermicomposting, biogas, landfills, these are all ways of removing the waste. And here incineration is burning. So rest are all methods of waste management, you can say. Incineration is burning. Homo habilis, Homo sapiens, Homo erectus, apes. Same way, apes, because rest are all human ancestors. Pesticides, herbicides, fertilizers, bioindicators. Now, these are all chemicals added. Bioindicators are the plants which shows the presence of any pollutant present there can be seen because of the bioindicators. Some plants grow in an area rich in certain metals, so they are called bioindicators. So rest are all the harmful substances, you can say, a non-biodegradable waste, you can say. Bioindicators are plants. Eutrophication, biomagnification, salinization. Now, eutrophication is water pollution. Magnification also happens in water pollution, and salinization is increase in salt content that again happens in water pollution. So, answer is desertification because rest all are related to water pollution. Natural selection, genetic drift, speciation, and cloning. Now, natural selection, genetic drift, and speciation are the natural process. Cloning is the artificial method of producing one of its own kind, that is, duplicates. So, rest are all the natural processes, which explains Darwinian theory. This is all. So, congratulations, children. You have mastered 100 odd one out for the board examinations, right? So, that's all. Study well, right? And all the best for your exams. Happy learning.